Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our training on updating account holder and student information. I'm Rachel Britt, and I'm a program specialist with the IEA program. One feature I want to bring to everyone's attention before we move forward is the Q&A button at the top of your screen. Please submit any questions you'd like answered following the presentation using that Q&A feature inside Teams. We'll have a question and answer session with the entire team directly following the presentation. The Tennessee Department of Education is committed to setting all students on a path to success. The Division of Choice supports the Best for All strategic plan of the department by ensuring that all eligible students have access to a high-quality education, no matter where they are educated. These are the main goals of our training today. By the end of the presentation, we want you to be able to easily recognize the IEA Handbook requirements detailed in Chapter 2 surrounding account holder and student information. Identify what constitutes a life change and when you're required to notify the IEA program of those changes. We want you to be able to locate the approved forms and finally create a course of action to verify and maintain up-to-date account holder and student information moving forward. I'm going to circle back to our first objective and just reiterate that everything we covered today is going to be in Chapter 2 of your IEA Account Holder Handbook. Let's identify what changes require notifying the IEA program. We need account holders to verify and update contact information on file regularly. This ensures that communication and payments remain timely and seamless. This includes, but is not limited to, any changes made to the following: legal name, email address, physical address, phone number, school type, school transfer, LEA, grade level, legal status, and parental custody. Let's dive into name changes. If an account holder has a legal name change, then that account holder is required to submit the account holder and student information update form. There are documentation requirements with this as well. We need proof that that legal name change has happened. You can provide us with a copy of your driver's license, marriage license, or court documents. We also need a new W-9 form completed as well, reflecting that new name. Phone number and email changes are also important and very common. Please also consider that email addresses that we have on file for you as the account holder is the primary source of communication that we use as a department. If that fails, we need to be able to reach you by phone. These two changes do require that the account holder submit the account holder and student information update form, but do not require further documentation. Address changes are why many account holders will need to submit an account holder and student information update form. Address changes also require documentation. We'll need at least one proof of residency showing the account holder's name and new physical address. An example of this would be an electric or water bill, current rental agreement, or property tax statement. I'd like to clarify that this document must show the account holder's name and not a spouse's name. For example, if I'm the account holder and my name is on our water bill and my husband's name is on the electric bill, I would provide a copy of the water bill showing my name associated with the new address. A W-9 form is also required, listing again the account holder's name and new physical address. W-9 forms are always completed using the account holder's name, not the spouse's or student's name. Address changes are very important as we mail debit cards and able checks only to the address we have on file. If your current address is not on file, there will be unavoidable delays in payment. Please do not assume we know your address has changed if you've not completed these two forms. It's also important to note we've been told the post office does not forward checks or debit cards when you set up mail forwarding following a move, so please keep that in mind. Each eligible student who participates in the IEA program must be counted in the enrollment figures for the LEA in which the student resides and is zoned to attend. Just as you notify an LEA of enrollment in the IEA program by emailing them at the beginning of the year, if a student moves from one LEA to another, the account holder must provide written notification within 7 calendar days from the date the student's residence changes, and they must submit that notification to the IEA department, the IEA liaison of the LEA that the student has moved from, and the IEA liaison of the LEA that the student has moved to. That can be one email to all 3 of those places. The current list of LEA liaisons can be found under the resources section of our webpage under the parents and students section. An account holder's failure to timely report a change in LEA can result in a delay of the next and possibly future IEA funding disbursements. Talk about school transfers. Sometimes students change schools with or without moving residences. When that happens, a separate form is required. If a student transfers to or from a participating school, the account holder must submit the notice of school transfer form within 7 calendar days from the date the student enrolled in or withdrew from the school. Information required before you complete this form will be the dates of enrollment and withdrawal, the number of instructional days, and you can get that information from the school, the names of both schools, and the addresses of both schools. Please note that account holders must also include whether or not the school the student withdrew from will be issuing a refund for any tuition or fees that were prepaid using IEA funds, if applicable. Also note parents are not allowed to receive a refund from the school under statute. Account holders must also notify the IEA liaison of the LEA in which the student resides if the student transfers from a homeschool to a non-public school or from a non-public school to a homeschool. Sometimes a student's grade level will change. If a student's grade level changes from what was reported on the new student or renewal student applications, the account holder must submit the account holder and student information update form. The documentation required is a letter from the homeschool coordinator in the LEA listing the grade level of the student, or a letter from the non-public school that the student attends stating the grade level of the student has changed. Occasionally, there are custody changes between account holders and participating students. An account holder must be a parent as defined by the IEA statute, which defines a parent as a parent, legal guardian, person who has custody of the child, or person with caregiving authority for that child. If the account holder no longer qualifies as a parent as defined in statute, the account holder must contact the IEA program within 7 calendar days and submit an account holder and student update information form with documentation of that custody change. All 3 of the forms we've discussed today can be found on our website. They are housed under the account information section of the forms tab. And if you have any questions when completing these forms, please contact us at iea.questions@tn.gov, and we will be happy to walk you through those forms. The account holder and student information update form and notice of school transfer form are both pretty easy to navigate, but the W-9 form is more challenging for some of our account holders, so I want to go over it really quickly. We just learned that this form is available on the IEA website under the Forms menu tab, but it's also linked in our account holder handbook on page 12 and on the IRS website as well. Required areas of this form include the account holder's legal name, in line 1, not the spouse's name or student's name. We need a check mark in the first box, which is labeled individual. Your physical address will go in lines 5 and 6. Please print this so that it's clearly legible. The account holder's full social security number. We cannot accept a form that only has the last 4 digits. It must be your full social security number. And the account holder's physical signature. This cannot be a digital signature. It must be your physical signature, and it also must be in blue or black ink. And finally, the date. It's important to note that you cannot use any correction fluid or tape. so no whiteout on this form. If you do make a mistake, you'll need to just start a new form to submit. And this form can also not be marked up or altered, so none of the language in this form can be struck through or changed. Both the notice of school transfer form and the account holder information update form are to be submitted within 7 calendar days from the date of change, along with all required documentation. Consequences of missing this deadline may include delays in funding, suspension of a student's IEA, or removal of the student from the IEA program. All the requirements and conditions related to requested documents and policies of the IEA program are outlined in Chapter 8 of the IEA Handbook. That being said, we want to help you be proactive and prevent any delays in payment or consequences of noncompliance from happening. Part of that is for you to create a plan related to communicating any changes to the department as soon as they happen. Something that helps me is to create a recurring calendar reminder on my email or in my cell phone. Maybe you need to write it physically on a calendar. I recommend setting a weekly IEA reminder in whatever program or method best helps you. We also have reminders posted in our monthly newsletter, and there's a wealth of information and updates in that newsletter every month as well. We'd love it if you join us on Tuesdays for office hours with any questions you have, and we're happy to help walk you through any of these forms one-on-one if that's what you need. To review, changes requiring notification are legal name changes, email address, physical address, phone number, school type, school transfer, LEA, grade level, legal status, and parental custody. The forms involved in making changes on your account are the account holder and student information update form, the notice of school transfer form, and the W-9 form. All this information is covered in Chapter 2 of the IEA Handbook, and all changes require notification to the IEA program within 7 calendar days. We do want you to create that plan for success by submitting changes as soon as they happen. Set a weekly IEA reminder on your calendar or phone if that's what you need. Please read the monthly newsletter to stay informed and join us for office hours on Tuesday with any questions you have. That concludes the information portion of our training, and we'll be moving into our question and answer session. If you have any questions related to this training, please go ahead and submit those now using the Q&A feature at the top of your screen. We will not be using the raised hand feature today, so please submit all questions using that Q&A feature. Just a reminder that this training has been recorded and will be available for viewing on our website just as soon as our IT department gets that posted for us. They usually get that done really quickly, so this training should be on our website in about a week. Sure.
So right now, I'm not seeing any questions. If anybody has any, go ahead and get those typed in. Sometimes there's a slight delay before they show up for us, so we will hang out and see if there's anything that comes in. I was just thinking, Rachel, as you were talking, there's a lot that we need updating about, but it all falls back to the reason of we want to be able to get payments out to you as quickly and as easily as possible without checks being returned to us because the address was different and we didn't know about it, or a custody change and money going to the wrong person and then having to have that returned to the state. We want everything just to run smoothly from the beginning. So there's reasons behind everything here. I'm still not seeing any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up to any questions about the IEA program, not just about making updates to your information. So if you've got questions about any of the other trainings that we provided for you this year, or just a burning question that you're needing to ask and go ahead and get your answer immediately, this is a great time to go ahead and put that in the Q&A. We've got the whole team here today. So you've got Marissa and Stephanie on the fiscal side that can answer any of those questions. And then, of course, you've got Rachel and Shelley here on the programmatic side, and they can answer any of those type questions. So I'm going to check the questions again. I think we've got one coming in. Marissa's going to be in charge of trying to read those for us as soon as it populates for her.
The W-9 is only for changes, correct? And this initiated a question. Are the funds going to need to be claimed on our taxes?
The ladies, who wants to take this one? I'm just going to jump in and take it then. And so you guys can correct me if I mess it up. But yes, the W-9 is for any of our new families coming into the program. And then if there's been any changes like the ones that Rachel spoke about today, we would need to have a new W-9 form. So if you're already in the program and you're getting payments right now, we have your W-9 form. If there's something that changes, we'll need to have a new one there. And you asked a very good question about the tax situation. As of last year, we were notified by others in the state government that IEA funds are no longer subject to tax reporting. So you don't get any tax records sent to you about the funds that you receive, and you're not required to include any of that in your tax submission. Ladies, let me know if I messed that one up anyway.
That's correct.
Very good. I'm watching to see if there's any more questions. Never want to cut this off when people are still typing, and I don't get those wonderful 3 little dots like I do on my iPhone when someone is typing a question. So just going to give it a couple more minutes for any questions that might be here. I am still not seeing anything else coming in. Whoops. As soon as I need to say that earlier, because as soon as I say it, questions come in. So let me go ahead and get this one over to you.
What is the date we need to send in our accounting for this quarter? I forgot. Are you referring to the expense report? So the expense report is due on January the 1st, 2024. I know we know that it's the first day of the year, it's a holiday, but unfortunately, you know, the way our calendar is set up, it just fell on that day. So, but feel free to get it in earlier than that if need be.
Thank you. Yes, we always dislike this one where the quarter ends and we need that reporting in. Rachel, I'm going to put you on the spot. Rachel has become our own personal webmaster. And if you've noticed our website for IEA lately, you've noticed some things that are gradually shifting and morphing into a more user-friendly web space for you guys to be able to locate information. Rachel, do you mind to tell everybody where on our website you would go to find those dates, like the one that this account holder just asked about, in case we forget those or need a reminder?
Sure. If you are on our webpage, you will go to the left-hand side of the menu and it will say key dates. And you can find any date related to our program in that key date menu tab in the key date document.
Wonderful. I think if it was me, because I forget things so easily, I would print it and put it on my refrigerator so I could just check it every once in a while and see if anything was going to be due that month, and I wouldn't have to worry then. But like Rachel was saying, those reminders that you could set for yourself would be wonderful, especially for your expense reporting. I'm going to say it again and see if it works its magic again and another question pops up. But right now, I don't see any other questions. So Rachel, if you want to go ahead and finish us up for today.
Sure. Thank you for joining us today. And if you have any further questions regarding Regarding this training or any topic related to the IEA program, please reach out to our team by emailing iea.questions@tn.gov or by leaving a detailed voicemail at 615-253-3781. We would also love for you to join us on Tuesdays for office hours if you'd like to speak with our team face-to-face on a one-on-one basis. And I've included our QR code for that meeting here on the screen as well. If you know of any family that might qualify and benefit from our program, please share our website and informational flyers with them. And we thank you again for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful day.